Hey, it's Cassie from Curry Honda in Chicopee. You're listening to the Bax and Nagle podcast on Rock 102. Come see us at Curry Honda for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Experience the best at Curry Honda. Thanks for listening.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:50 and Rush with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be cloudy today with a high of 45. Tomorrow, mix of clouds and maybe some rain showers and a high of 46. It's 28 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's see what we got on the old Hollywood Trash list when this thing loads up. Nick Jonas walked out of the 2026 Golden Globe Awards, sparking speculation among fans.
Speculation for what?
I don't know. A video showed him standing outside of the venue taking a break from the ceremony. Jonas later confirmed that he experienced social anxiety, relating it to his recent single, Gut Punch. Fans connected the incident to the themes of his song and praised his openness about mental health challenges. Jonas has been an advocate for mental health awareness, emphasizing the importance of seeking support. Which is great and all, but that's also a great excuse to leave the Golden Globes. Hey, I'm sorry. I have all this social anxiety. I just wrote a song about it.
You can download it on Spotify, Apple, and other sources.
Yeah.
You know, I would do everything I could to walk out of there early, too. That's a long, long show.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's like using your kids as an excuse to get, you know what, I gotta go put the kids to bed, relieve the babysitter, and...
I miss using that excuse. It's too bad my kids are all adults now. I can't use that at all.
Yes, you can.
Well, I mean, who's gonna believe it? If I had grandkids, I could say, hey, my grandkids are coming over, and...
Eventually that'll happen. But then by that time, you'll be retired anyway, so you want an excuse to get out of here.
No rush.
So... HBO's Max's medical drama series The Pit garnered 3.4 million U.S. households in the first 4 days of streaming since its debut, surpassing the viewership of the season. The show, starring is it Wiley or Weil?
Wiley.
Why is it spelled Weil?
I don't know, Steve. Why is anything pronounced the way it's supposed to be pronounced? And why do you say Pittsfield when it's actually Pittsfield?
Because you've never been there, and you've never taken a whiff.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
And I've taken a whiff.
As Dr. Michael Pitt Robinovich has received critical acclaim and multiple industry awards, including Best Television Series, Drama at the Golden Globes, and Best Drama Series at the Critics' Choice Award. The series has been renewed for a third season ahead of its premiere of its second season on HBO Max. I remember him from ER, the ER days.
And were you asking back then, how do you pronounce his last name?
Yes, I was.
Well, I'm glad we've resolved it now.
Well, he was the guy from... I never even knew his name until after the show was well over. And I heard it once, maybe.
But you feel better now, right?
I do, yeah.
All right, good.
Meghan Trainor has responded to being dragged into the toxic mom group drama on social media. In a TikTok video, she lip-synced to a clip from Stranger Things, jokingly trying to convince everyone she's not involved in the drama. Trainor, along with Mandy Moore and Hilary Duff, were speculated to be part of the drama after Ashley Tisdale French's essay about feeling excluded from a mom group. Trainor's husband, Daryl Sabara, also commented on the situation, emphasizing they are focused on keeping their kids happy amidst the drama.
I'm on the edge of my seat about this whole fiasco, and I don't know how you resolve it.
So all of the people, Meghan Trainor, Mandy Moore, Hilary Duff, and Ashley Tisdale.
Yes.
Is a mix of Disney stars, and because Mandy Moore wasn't a Disney star, she was just...
No, but was Ashley Tisdale?
She was. She was on, I believe she was on that Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember a High School Musical. I'll never forget that.
Oh, man, that was...
Oh, my God, I can watch that forever.
That was a gem. Let's see. Timothy Busfield's guest appearance. Do you know who Timothy Busfield is?
I do.
His guest appearance on Law & Order SVU has been pulled following allegations of unlawful sexual contact with 11-year-old boys.
Now, he started on the show 30-something.
Is that what it is?
Shouldn't he have stuck with that?
Maybe. That's usually or somewhere closer to your age.
Yeah, so now when they're talking about like a prison sentence, it could be 30-something.
Well, see,
15 to 30-something.
Life, 15 to 20-something, 30-something, whatever
Right.
it is. The actor, known for his role in The West Wing, is facing charges of criminal sexual conduct of minor and child abuse. The investigation began after a doctor reported alleged abuse and the minors disclosed incidents of inappropriate touching. He has denied any wrongdoing but admitted to creating a playful environment on the set. Yeah. Warner Brothers conducted an internal investigation and found witness accounts of inappropriate behavior, leading to the episode's cancellation. Hey. That behavior is only reserved for movie executives, not the actor.
You know, she is, if I'm not mistaken, he is the husband of Melissa Gilbert from Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes, they are married. I didn't know that until I saw the story about Timothy Busfield. They've been married for years.
I wonder if he calls her half pint.
I don't know, but they've been married for almost 15 years.
Let's see. Paul Mescal, set to play Paul McCartney in The Beatles, a 4-film cinematic event, has expressed a desire for audience to know as little as possible about the Beatles before watching the upcoming biopics or whatever you want to call them.
I am not going to be the guy that spoils this movie, but they break up in the end.
Okay. All right, sorry. I had to take care of a little family business there.
Understood.
Can you say that again?
I said I don't want to be a spoiler here, Steve.
Yeah.
But they break up in the end.
Really?
Yeah, they break up.
Well, next thing you know, you're going to tell me that ship sinks at the end of the Titanic movie.
Actually, it sinks at the beginning of the movie, which is the weirdest thing. But yes.
It does?
No, actually, it doesn't.
Well, I mean, they show the sunken ship in the beginning.
Yeah,
and
right.
then they go back and tell the story.
And then you went, well, how did that happen?
How did this...
What
how
happened?
Did this sink ship? Ship sink.
I thought this thing was unsinkable.
Let's see. Kim Kardashian, she accidentally had her hair set on fire during a styling mishap gone wrong. She's okay, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Must have something to say.
Oh, my God. The last time I had this much burning hair was when Ray J gave me a case of the peach crickets from the Drippy Dong and that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
It's not the first. No, I have not, but I'm sure it's not the first time she's had a burning sensation. Caitlin?
Well, I never got that down and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but I once gave her some chlamydia. A little immaculate infection from the banana flambe.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is I gave her love bumps in the Sarlacc pit.
I'm going to have to look that up.
You never know what a Sarlacc pit is? You ever seen Star Wars?
Oh, that's the Sarlacc
Sarlacc pit. Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Jabba the or whatever her name was. And that is your Hollywood trash. I'm Rock 102. Ugh.
Selling your house can feel over.
View from the couch.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, Winter Storm headquarters before and after the storm.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, it's going to be the Houston Texans. Last night, the Texans spanked the Pittsburgh Steelers in a 30-6 point blowout to win the final spot in the divisional round of the playoffs. Now, I can get into all the details of the game, including how Houston's defense clamped down around Aaron Rodgers, holding him to just 146-yard passing and sacking him 4 times, but I've chosen to ignore all that because, frankly, it's yesterday's news. Instead, I'd much rather focus my full attention on the fact that the Houston Texans will be coming to Foxborough to face the Patriots on Sunday at 3 on ESPN. What the Steelers do with themselves at this point is their business. Frankly, none of my concern. I'm more fixated on the fact the Patriots currently listed as 3-point favorites, and that game begins at a reasonable time. Now, the last time these two teams faced each other was all the way back in 2016, back when Drake May was just 13 years old. At the time, things did not go exactly as planned for the Patriots, having lost that game 41-21. Thankfully, I'm not a superstitious fella. What happened nearly 10 years ago, largely irrelevant today. And while Texans may have the top-ranked defense in football, Patriots' defense is no slouch either, ranked at number 8. On the other hand, the Patriots had the third highest-ranked offense in the league this year, whereas Houston wasn't even close, ranked at number 18. But, of course, this is the divisional round of the playoffs, the winner of which goes on to the conference championship game on January 25th. How's this going to work out? Well, I have my thoughts, and while I have chosen to refrain from making such wild predictions, let me just say that my thoughts do not include Houston playing for a conference championship. What does that mean exactly? Well, you seem like pretty smart people. You figure out what that kind of riddle means. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You know, some birds head south for the winter. Well, stubborn old birds like you and me tough it out. You need to go to Rocky's for a KT Songbird Blend, Birders Blend, or Fruit and Nut Blend. Buy one, get one free. Feed those birds. Go to Rocky's for the good stuff. KT Bird Food Blends, available at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 6:12, and Led Zeppelin with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be cloudy today with a high of 45. It is 28 right now in downtown Springfield.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Nice to have you back. Not that Marty was, wasn't capable of filling in on limited doses, but it's good to have you back.
He sounded. Thank you. He sounded pretty good. I was listening to you.
You weren't listening yesterday, were you?
God, no. Why would I listen yesterday?
Because that was the show to miss.
All right, so I picked the two good ones to listen to, I guess.
Yeah, you definitely
Thursday
did.
And Friday. But yeah, I was up in Buffalo on Thursday. Thursday through Saturday was the shows at the Helium Comedy Club with Brian Plum and T.J. Miller, which was what a wild experience the whole thing was. It was just, this is like my first time going on the road, I guess you could say.
It's also the first time you've done, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong about this.
Yeah.
Isn't this like the first time you've done like a full weekend of shows? Like Thursday, Friday, Saturdays?
I mean, I did it years ago when I was hosting at the Funny Bone down here in Manchester. So
Okay.
I would open for a bunch of different people. That was my experience of opening for headliners, was doing 5 minutes, to get the show warmed up,
Sure.
that kind of thing. And then, when I got married and had kids, I stopped doing that, and then, whatever. And then, so yeah, now this is like, it's a lot different than that used to be. And so we had 5 shows, and I get there on Thursday, and I'm intimidated very, very easily.
Well, you should be.
Well, but it's like when you get to, and I was like, I was stuck in my own head. Like, it was just all those fears, and like, oh my God, like, nobody knows me here. How the hell am I gonna, kind of wrangle these people in?
I mean, you have to rely on the strength of your material. That's challenging.
It is challenging, actually. Well, it's challenging because, if you do a show around here, people like pretty much know who you are, for the most part.
But not in Buffalo.
But not in Buffalo. They have no idea. I will say, however, the Buffalo people are very, very nice people. Like,
until you get them at a football game, then there's something that changes.
That's what I was going to say. You mentioned New England Patriots. Oh my God, they want to throw the chairs at you on the stage. But so I did. There was a couple of different things that were also throwing me off. So, we get to this club, and TJ doesn't show up until, 5 minutes before the show is started, because he can do that. He's been doing it for,
years,
30 years probably, doing these comedy shows and stuff. So, the club is not clubs don't really pay attention to the guy who's just doing the opening of the show.
Right.
So there's really not a lot of, chitter chatter back and forth between any direction. So I get there, I get to the green room. Plum and TJ show up, and I go on. I'm ready to open the show, and there was no direction of like how this whole thing is going to go. So they wind up showing a video, like a quick 1.5 minute video.
Okay.
about here's the rules, don't turn your phones off. You've seen that typically at big comedy clubs. But the problem was, here is, and I'm like, okay, ready to go, ready to like come out of the gates running on this thing. The screen takes forever to roll back up, and the guy in the booth is not saying anything. So everybody, it just goes dead silent, and this screen just goes like.
Were they expecting you to get the stage at that point?
They wait until the screen is fully up. This sometimes logistics. The people running some of these clubs, like the logistics, don't really match the way they should.
Sure.
And so the screen finally goes all the way up, and the guy goes, "All right, everybody ready to have a good time?" After they already clapped after the video was over.
After they've been let down by this moment of silence.
So then the guy goes, "All right, but first," and then he goes, "Make sure you turn off your cell phones." And he just reiterates everything that was said in the video, and I'm like, well, this is unnecessary.
Right.
And it kind of just brings the crowd down. You got to get people pumped up, when you hear.
When you've already heard the message. I mean, you've already been given the instructions.
Yeah.
Why repeat them?
So then the guy, introduces me. Here's your host, Steve Nagle. And, of course, nobody knows who the hell this guy is coming up on stage. But I don't know what it was. I get up there, and I'm like, I'm thinking too much. My timing is off. I'm getting some laughs, but not like, what I'm trying to deliver and all that stuff. So then I finally go back into the green room, and then TJ was like, he's like, wow, they're pretty low, and I'm like, oh, that's probably my fault. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, how do you think that should have went? Like the beginning, the opening. Right. He's like, what can we do to fix this tomorrow when we do the show? And I said, well, first of all, that screen was grueling. So then at the end of the show, we sat down with the guy in the booth going, this is the way this should go. You should play the video, don't repeat the rules, and just do it again. So that's how the rest of those shows went for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
But I had said in my opening that I'm like, well, my job here is to get you all riled up, but apparently I'm not doing very good at that, because you could just feel like this. It was this weird thing, and I was like kind of like beating myself up over it. And they're like, no, it's your first time in a new club. You've never been here before.
That's often why they do the Thursday shows.
It was like a rehearsal.
It's like a rehearsal. Yeah. It works out the bugs for the Friday and Saturday where they really make their money.
So if I didn't eat it on Thursday, I wouldn't have regrouped and made it better for the rest of the shows the rest of the weekend. Yeah. And every single show after that was amazing from start to finish. And he was happy with it. Plum he knocked it out of the park like he always does.
Right.
And they were really, really good shows throughout the rest of the weekend. When I left this club this is why I'm saying the people of Buffalo are really nice. When I left the club on Thursday, I go out to my car. Now, I talk about the minivan, so it's not like you're going to be able to recognize whose minivan it is with a Massachusetts license plate on it. There was a note on the car, and I didn't see it until actually I got in the car and started driving away, and it was kind of rainy out. And I see this thing on the windshield, and I pull over, and I pull the thing off, and it says, we thought you were great. Keep at it. Love Buffalo.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
That's really nice.
Yeah. Like people go out of their way to say so. Who does they care about this guy opening the show?
You would never get that in Springfield. You get, I'm sorry, I accidentally hit your car.
Here's a fake license plate number.
Yeah. I'm not going to give you my insurance information. Good luck to you.
Yeah, here's a fake number for the bagel shop down the street. But that was very encouraging to do that, and it was it worked out. And then I'll tell you more later about we went on a buffalo wing tour throughout the city of Buffalo.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah, and we didn't go to the Anchor Bar.
You did not?
No, because everybody in Buffalo hates the Anchor Bar.
See, that would have given me more. Well, we'll talk about this later, but that would have given me more incentive to go. Like, why are they telling me not to go?
Right. But successful weekend nonetheless, and all the little things in between we can pepper in throughout the show this morning. So
Awesome.
There you go.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
It's 6:21 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. 102 Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 6:26 and 7 Mary 3 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam's taking a nap right now. So cloudy with a high of 45 today. A little bit of rain tomorrow with a high of 46. It's 28 right now in downtown Springfield.
This week on Baxi's Musical Podcast, my guest is Brian Baker, legendary guitar player for Bad Religion. He's played with them for almost 40 years. Also played with Minor Threat, Junkyard, like 50 other bands the guy's been in. He's got a brand new book out called The Road. It's a picture book of photographs he's taken on the road. Real unusual stuff, but a great interview. Check that out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Rock 102's YouTube channel, and on the app. All brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at Chicopee and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
All right, you ready to laugh?
Yes, sir.
Let's laugh.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you,
on Rock 102,
I make you laugh.
Springfield's Classic Rock.
So Jehovah's Witness knocks on my door yesterday.
Yeah.
And I invite him in, and I make him a cup of tea, and I sit him down at the kitchen table. And then I said, well, so what do you want to talk about? And he goes, oh, man, I don't know. I've never gotten this far before. Like, what do they want to talk about?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102.
Need your Massachusetts.
6:29 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. A suspect was arrested in connection with drug trafficking and illegal firearm possession following a months-long investigation in Springfield. Spokesman Ryan Walsh stated that for the past several months, detectives with the FIU
Hey, watch your mouth.
FIU 2 had been investigating the illegal distribution of crack cocaine near the area of Eastbrook Apartments. An apartment on the 200 block of Fernbank Road was identified as the target location, and 42-year-old Gilberto Flores Jr. of Springfield was identified as the target suspect. There's a Target down there?
I didn't believe so.
I thought the new one was coming to Boston Road.
Yeah, but not yet.
Detectives applied for and were granted a search warrant for the apartment last Friday at approximately 6:50 p.m. FIU.
Hey.
Detectives executed the search warrant. They located approximately 99.3 grams of cocaine and crack. Laser 99.3 grams of cocaine and crack?
I don't know. I know a few people over there. I don't know any of them that are on the crack.
Well, the guy that used to be there, he was on something.
I had my suspicions back then, but he's no longer there.
69 grams, giggity, of suspected heroin and fentanyl, and an illegal large-capacity firearm, loose ammunition, and $1,680 in cash. You got to have that loose ammo.
These all sound to me like clues.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like Dora. Oh, ammunition, firearm, fentanyl.
Yeah, I'd like to see Swiper try to swipe that.
He was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm without an FID card, ammunition, large capacity firearm, heroin trafficking, 36 to 100 grams, and jaywalking. No,
well, I mean, he probably didn't wait for the crosswalk to run away from the police.
No, he didn't. But it's like it's seemingly they always throw some like dumb charge in there, but they didn't seem to do that with this guy.
You know what else is kind of dumb? Think about this. When they tell you he was charged with illegal possession of crack.
Yeah.
Well, is there illegal possession of crack? Is there like something on the opposite side? Like there's a certain amount that's really okay to have around the house? Or
no,
I didn't think there was.
Well, I think it's all illegal. And then when you get to a certain point, it becomes trafficking illegal.
I see.
So there's a difference between illegal and trafficking weight.
Because to me, by definition, illegal possession of crack is just possession of crack.
Right.
It's
That's
like,
all
like
illegal.
you're throwing extra words in there, and I don't know if it's I mean, there's anybody on the fence. Well, how much did he have? Well, enough for distribution, but regular recreational use, he was within the limits.
See, they should have like those signs on the street corners with the like a thing at a ride with at Six Flags. Like you have to be this tall to ride this ride. You have to have this much crack in order to be charged with possession.
I couldn't agree with you more. That needs to be posted.
Most cops aren't going to waste their time with a couple of rocks of crack. Well, you got a trafficking weight in crack. That's something to go after.
Let's say you have a crack house.
Yeah.
I mean, there should be some posted rules and regulations about what to do in the crack house so as to not violate city ordinances or what have you.
There has to be. It's like swingers clubs. Like there's rules to swingers clubs. They you can't do this to this guy's wife or whatever, but you can do all this. You just can't, arrive.
But I think those rules are more easily posted. I mean, there may be some brochures, maybe some literature to read before you enter.
That's what I'm getting at. Is there rules listed on the crack house door in the back? All right. No dinks.
Try not to. No foul language.
Yeah.
Try to get whatever you're done within 30
seconds. Yeah, make sure this transaction is over within 30 seconds. That's all we want. And get out.
I mean, I would like to think there'd be like a name tags or, maybe a guest book to sign when you enter into the crack house.
Oh, like the name tag's like, hello, my name is Carl.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Hello, Carl.
Hi, Carl.
Welcome to our crack house. Can I get you something to drink?
Yeah, would you like some, there's charcuterie over there in the lobby. In the foyer. A Northampton school committee member is speaking out after a public confrontation with the husband of Mayor Gina Louise Ciara. Michael Stein, a member of the Northampton school committee representing Ward 4, said that Ciara's husband, Bill Scher, approached him as he was grocery shopping. Scher reportedly confronted Stein to protect his wife's policies regarding Northampton's budget struggles. In a grocery store?
Was this next to the Stop and Shop robot?
Yeah, Marty the robot.
Yeah, Marty the robot.
Yeah, what does he do anything to break up these fights?
I mean, I know he can, predict spills in aisle 5, but can he break up a fist fight?
So I was shopping the frozen fruit aisle, and I was looking at my list when I heard someone sort of say, "Hey!" I looked up, and he was marching towards me, Stein told 22 News. Stein stated that Northampton schools have faced budget cuts for the last 2 years, reflecting ongoing community concerns about education funding. And I think from his perspective, he thinks the criticism hasn't been fair, according to Stein. In response to the confrontation, Scher issued a public apology during last Thursday's school committee meeting. He acknowledged his reaction, saying, "When he responded with points I didn't agree with, I let my emotions get the best of me. I lost my temper and raised my voice." In the Stop and Shop?
I mean,
that's Aldi's behavior.
There's a time and a place. But not there in the frozen food section.
Yeah. After the meeting, Mayor Ciara also offered an apology to Stein, expressing her regret over the incident. Ciara's office later released a statement saying, "I'm sorry that this happened. I extend my own apology to the school committee member, and my husband will be sleeping on the couch for the next week."
Oh, he's gonna be feeling this one for a good long time.
He's definitely in the doghouse, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
How could you do this to me? I'm just trying to protect you, babe. No. I can handle this myself.
I'm the mayor of the city.
Right.
I don't need you to be fighting my battles.
You are the mayor's husband. You're supposed to do mayorly husband duties. Like just stand there behind me and smile as I shake the hands of my dignitaries. That's all you're supposed to do. Man, grocery store fights.
Yeah, hey, what's next? Like a hardware store, throw down. What's next?
How does this stuff even make the news?
Well, I mean, if you're the husband of the mayor, if you're married to the mayor, and you cause a ruckus in a public place like a grocery store or a bar, a restaurant,
but
that's going to be in the news.
Yeah, but is it going to be in the news because some bystander witnessed the whole thing, or is it because of the news because there ain't no 22 news crew driving around anymore unless there's something actually actively happening like a fire or a disaster or something like that.
True, but on the outside chance you have a 22 News employee that happens to be shopping at the same exact Stop and Shop or Big Y, that's breaking news.
And I'll give you an example why that would never happen, because as we saw Ted Kaczynski put that photo up last week from there was a bunch of police cars at the Ludlow Pride Station. And no other mitigating information about why.
What was going on there at the Pride Station.
So if 22 News was actually there, they would have been like, 2 people were yelling at each other in a Stop and Shop. And that's it. No other context to the story. Somebody went to report it and told this story about what happened. That's what I'm guessing. The Greenfield Police Department is reminding local businesses and vendors to inspect bills after counterfeit money was found at AutoZone. Police stated that counterfeit $10 and $20 bills were accepted on Monday at the AutoZone Auto Parts store on Federal Street in Greenfield. The money was reportedly handed over, folded in an attempt to hide the fact that it was not legal tender. The individual who passed the bills claimed that the money was being used for an undisclosed program at an undisclosed school. Staff at local stores should be alerted to fraudulent bills in the area and reminded to closely inspect money before accepting it as payment. I got one. I got a $50 bill last month.
A fake one?
Yeah.
No kidding.
I won't say exactly. I won't say where, but it wasn't the shortstop. It was another gig that I did that I was paid
in phony money,
and they didn't know either. And the only reason I found out was because when I the next day I accidentally left the $50 bill in my pocket and washed my clothes.
Really?
Yeah.
How could you tell it was fake?
Because it was off. It was first of all, the paper didn't feel the same. You know, you can put money through the washing machine. That's how they call it, laundering money. But you can put it through the washing machine, and it won't. For the most part, it won't rip or thing. It just gets wet, and you gotta like dry it out. So this same thing would happen with this thing, and the thing dried out, and I look at it, and I'm like, this looks a little off. It doesn't feel like the regular paper.
Right.
And it was like misprinted. Like it was off. The border was off.
And Ulysses Grant had glasses.
Yeah, because I had another 50.
And a top hat.
Right. Yes. He looked like Mr. Peanut. Mr. Peanut was on the $50
Well, it wasn't a full set of glasses. It was a monocle and a top hat.
Yeah. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, and I have a regular 50. And I'm like, this isn't real. So I went down to the little convenience store in my town because I know they have one of those markers that checks the bills.
Yeah.
And I said to the lady behind there, can you just run that marker across this? And sure enough, she runs the marker across it, and the thing it shows that it's fake.
Wow.
So you got to be careful out there.
I don't usually inspect the cash that's in my pocket or in my wallet. I just spend it like it's nobody's business. But you probably should be looking at the big bills. Probably not a lot of people counterfeiting the single dollar bills, but your 20s, your 50s, your $100 bills.
Well, the funny thing is, a lot of places don't even accept cash anymore anyway. You go to like airports and things like that, they don't want any cash being handed over. They want everything is electronic.
You go to a Thunderbirds game and you want to get like those $2 glizzies on the Friday nights.
Yeah,
you're not paying in cash. They can't accept cash.
I wonder why. Because of the fact that or is it just easier for accounting purposes? At the end going, all right, all the numbers are here in the register numbers. We don't need to even bother.
It's probably easier on their end to do it that way. It just makes the exchange cleaner.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm not so sure that everybody working, this is not to besmirch anybody at the Mass Mutual Center, I'm not sure that everybody working there knows how to make proper change.
You think so?
You think just speculating completely.
But nobody knows how to make change because nobody's making change.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's all on a credit card or a debit card or what have you.
Yeah. So now for the people who will say, "Well, these kids can't even make change anymore," yeah, because they've never been taught. Yeah. They've all been brought up on an electronic payments.
So now, if you buy those $2 glizzies using your credit card, you're probably paying 15-16% in interest.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
More like 29%.
Whatever. I mean, it depends on how good your credit is.
A dietary supplement meant to improve brain function and boost one's metabolism is under recall after it was found to contain an ingredient that can cause, quote, life-threatening events, according to the FDA. Phoenix-based Modern Warrior is recalling all lots of its Modern Warrior Ready supplement over the presence of undeclared ingredients such as thionapine. I've never heard of that. 1,4-DMMAA and anorectum.
And a rectum.
I damn near killed him.
Christmas.
Tynepeptine can cause life-threatening events, including suicidal ideation or behavior in children, adolescents, and adults 25 years or younger. In addition, overdose carries serious and potentially life-threatening risks, including confusion, seizures, drowsiness, dry mouth, and shortness of breath, which can be exacerbated by alcohol use. The FDA says that DMAA, which was at one time approved for nasal decongestion, is no longer legal to market as a dietary supplement, as the stimulant can raise blood pressure and lead to cardiovascular problems, ranging from shortness of breath and tightening in the chest to a heart attack.
But your brain feels terrific.
Well, yeah, it's mental clarity. It's the product, which has mental clarity and body repair plan written on each capsule, is advertised to modern warriors as a supplement that sets you up for success by sustaining your energy throughout the day until you drop dead.
Right, until you decide,
you'll feel great all day.
I've had just about enough. I can't take it anymore.
You'll feel great all day until you get the meat sweats, and then you die at your dinner table. Nootropics appears to refer to I don't know. Just stop taking these things. They go on to explain all the other ingredients in there. It's dangerous.
I've read before, and I don't know if it's ever really been rectified, but there's an astonishing lack of oversight when it comes to supplements.
There's an astonishing lack of everything.
Yeah, there's not a whole heck of a lot of approval or inspection of whether or not a lot of these supplements do what they're purported to do.
Right.
So you don't always know what you're taking. I never had a problem ingesting, say, like a Fred Flintstone or a Barney Rubble or anything like that, or maybe a Dino. I always felt terrific after taking my Flintstone chewables.
Well, now that you have a lot of these government agencies being deregulated, haven't you noticed, there's a lot more recalls for food now? Like Listeria. Listeria is huge. I don't remember this many cases being reported. Every week there seems to be another recall. Like radioactive shrimp. That's happened twice now.
Right.
So you don't even know what you're eating. You're trusting somebody. For the longest time, we were trusting people going, all right, well, it's approved by the FDA and, they're doing all this stuff. And then people aren't finding out until it's too late that they've gotten sick. And now the government's like, oh, we don't have regulations anymore.
Don't look at us. It's not our fault.
Yeah, well, that's whatever. I guess everybody's trying to kill us. We're all
gonna wind up choking on a poison ice cube or something.
But I was watching this. My daughter was watching a TV show last night on Amazon.
Yeah,
and they have commercials in between the shows. And one of the commercials was for acne. It was some kind of drug for acne.
Right.
And it's this minute long commercial, and they're like, "Hey, I don't even know what the name of the drug is, but use Clears It to help your thing." And it shows this woman biking and acting. And then they start reading the list of side effects. Suicidal thoughts can occur. It was all these horrible, horrible things, like suicidal thoughts. Why would you want to take? Well, first of all, I guess if you had bad acne, you'd probably want to, you probably have suicidal thoughts to begin with.
Well, depends on how bad it is.
Well, that's what I mean. But is the drug worth taking with all of? But they make it sound so they're required to tell you all of those things.
Right.
With all this happy music going on in the background, suicidal thoughts and irregular periods, and they just list all these things.
Some of these things
erectile dysfunction.
Some of these things are absolutely horrifying, like the Jardiance commercials, where they talk about a breakdown of the flesh of the perineum. Meanwhile, you see all these people dancing in the streets because their A1C is low. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if my taint is falling apart, I'm not dancing.
Well, you're dancing in a different way.
I'm gonna be sitting on a bag of frozen peas. That's all I'm doing.
I got the taint two-step going on here. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be cloudy with a high of 45. It is 27 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Member FDIC.
It's 6:51 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
I just gave you the forecast.
Yeah, why do it so soon after the last time you did it?
Yeah.
Hey, Bourbon Barbecue and Blues is practically a sellout. Less than 10 tickets remain for this really cool event. Saturday, January 31st, brought to you by Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements, happening at the Log Cabin in Holyoke from 6 to 9, a night of great food, smooth drinks, and hot blues. Your admission includes everything, includes the multi-course meal, the Pendleton whiskey tasting, and a live set of music from Neil and the Vipers. A great, great time. Again, less than 10 tickets remain. They're on sale at rock102.com. Bourbon, Barbecue, and Blues, January 31st at the Log Cabin. Brought to you by Dave Miner and Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
You know what? I forgot about this. We were talking about that crack house etiquette.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the Route 10 Tire listener. I totally forgot about Biggie Smalls, the 10 crack commandments.
Forgot about that, too.
Yeah,
never even crossed my mind. But are they posted at regular crack houses? That's the question you got to ask yourself.
You can just play the song, I guess.
Yeah, but sometimes you can hear a song in a place and not pay that much attention to it. It's kind of like the Christmas party when you played Last Christmas 15 times before I even caught on to it. And I actually had to have someone tell me what was going on because everybody was figuring it out but me.
All right, so you go into a crack house, that song is just on repeat, playing in the background. And then you just start breaking all the rules. And then you get kicked out, and you're like, why did I get kicked out? And you're like, dude, you didn't pay attention. That song was playing in the background. You didn't listen to any of the 10 crack commandments.
You know what? That's exactly the thing.
Yeah.
It's in the background. People are not paying attention. You go to a crack house, you're thinking, hey, where's the crack? Or, where's the nearest bathroom? Or, are there any snacks in this place? That's what you're thinking about.
I went going to Buffalo last week to perform for the weekend. I'm the opening guy. I don't get the hotel. Like, I have to pay for my own.
Sure.
And by the time you get paid at the end of the weekend, it's kind of a wash.
You're probably down in the hole by like $5-10.
Well, it's like a couple of $100. But then, whatever. That's part of the deal and the business and whatever. You can write that off.
You don't even know where write-off is.
No, but they do, and they're the ones who are writing it off. But anyway, so it's whatever. It's part of the gig. I wound up staying. I was gonna do the Best Western,
right?
But then I found out where they were staying, which was the Hyatt downtown Buffalo, and the price was actually pretty comparable to the Best Western, and the Best Western was like 25 minutes away versus 5 minutes away from the club at the Hyatt.
Makes sense.
So I booked the Hyatt. Now here's a little. Follow me for more tricks and tips, okay? And I read this on the internet. I was really excited to try this. When you book a hotel room, put your prefix down as doctor. Right?
Really?
Yeah. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because they do upgrade you.
If you're a doctor?
If you're a doctor, right? So I put the prefix doctor down.
Dr. Steve Nagle.
Dr. Nagle. Well, yeah, it's Dr. Steve Nagle.
Yeah.
And then I go in, and the guy at the front desk couldn't have been, Dr. Nagle. I appreciate you staying here, and thank you so much for being a Hyatt. I just joined the Hyatt Rewards or whatever the hell it was.
Probably did it on the website when you booked it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know what? We're gonna just upgrade you here. We'll put you on the higher floor, and so you won't be, with the rest. There was a hockey team staying there. 15 floors in this hotel. Or 16 floors, and I'm on the 15th floor. There was a hockey team staying on one of the floors, and I guess these kids were like ridiculously loud.
Okay.
And people were complaining.
Hockey players? Boy, that's unusual.
Yeah, but they were like 12 and 13-year-old boys.
Still.
So, and then whatever. So, but anyway, so every time I would go back in and out of the hotel, the guy at the desk would be like, "Welcome back, Dr. Nagle." But it actually elevates you to get to the thing. Now, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, this can't be illegal, right? I mean, if you were to pretend you were a military person, that would be stolen valor.
Sure.
But if you pretend to be a doctor, I mean, is that really, is there doctor valor you're stealing?
Listen, I know PhDs that consider themselves doctors. Yeah. I mean, it's not really the thing. It's not real.
We have dentists.
Yeah, they're doctors.
Okay, yeah, all right. But my point being is that you don't have to be the stereotypical guy with a stethoscope on your neck.
You don't need to be a Mr. or Mrs. or a Miss, but a doctor gets you a little cachet. I have to try that the next time I'm out of town.
I think you should.
I'll have to see what happens.
And then this other the one time I'm going up to I feel a little bougie now because I'm up on the 15th floor, and I walk in the lobby and this flight crew was there. They must have been American Airlines flight crew, right? So a pilot and a co-pilot get in the elevator with me, and they're like, "Could you push 11, please?" And they were on 11, and then I'm on 15, so I pushed 11, and then we're riding the elevator up, and I'm thinking. And I like to try jokes out on the general public.
Sure.
And I'm like, this is my time to shine with my airplane material. Like, I'm going to make an airplane joke.
Okay.
Right? And I'm thinking the whole way. There's dead silence in this elevator. And I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say something. And we get up to their 11th floor, and the door opens, and I'm like, thanks for flying the friendly skies of the Hyatt elevator. And then they get, and then one guy kind of smirks.
Yeah.
And as they're walking out, and the doors are closing, I hear the co-pilot go, I'm so funny. And I'm like, I just got live heckled by a co-pilot at the Hyatt in Buffalo.
Yeah, but the last laugh is on you. Yep. You got the upgrade and they didn't.
That's right. I'm a little bit higher than you are.
Take that.
Maybe if you worked a little harder at your pilot job, you might be on the 15th floor.
It's 6:57 at Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, Winter Storm headquarters before and after the storm.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, when I was a young child, my mother and father raised me to believe that if you have nothing nice to say, then don't say it at all. And while that seemed like good advice at the time, I gotta tell you that when it comes to either being a professional athlete or a fan of professional athletes and the sports they play, that sort of advice is meaningless. Sure, you want to raise your kids to become respectful adults, but what are you supposed to do when your favorite sport is being ruined by a bunch of half-wit, mouth-breathing jackholes posing as either qualified officials or referees? Yesterday, the NBA fined Jaylen Brown of the Celtics $35,000 for criticizing the lopsided, inconsistent officiating during Saturday's game against the San Antonio Spurs. Specifically, Jaylen complained that for whatever reason, he wasn't getting calls when he should be getting calls. And he specifically called out one official by name, the clearly biased Curtis Blair, who wouldn't know a foul against the Celtics if you beat him over the head with it. According to Jaylen, quote, "The inconsistency is effing crazy. Give me the fine. Curtis, all them dudes was terrible tonight. I don't care. They can fine me whatever they want. Every time we play a good team, it's the same bullshit, isn't it?" And so, taking his advice, the NBA has fined Jaylen Brown $35,000 for his profanity-laced tirade. Now, if somebody fined me $35,000, I would be blasting 9 times as many profanities. But I would remind you that Jaylen Brown is a 5-year, $289 million contract in which he will make $53 million a season. That means he's currently making over $25,000 per hour. Now, not for nothing, but if my employer docked me for an hour and a half, I could probably live with it and get myself ready to do it all over again. In other words, I'm pretty sure Jaylen Brown could probably handle the financial loss. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. If you got a plumbing or electrical problem, the person you need to talk to is Robbie at the East Longmeadow Rockies. Robbie was born in a hardware store. I think literally. He knows how to help you with almost any home repair. Good people like Robbie and rock-solid service. You'll find it at every Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102. Spring.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:10 and ZZ Top with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be cloudy with a high of 45. Tomorrow, cloudy with some rain showers, high of 46. It's 27 right now in downtown Springfield.
I don't want to cause any panic or get everybody all excited or anything, but we have auto part swap and sell tickets to give away for the Big E this weekend, so prepare yourselves for that.
Shut the front door.
I know. I can sense the electricity that's just pouring through the city right now. People saying, well, I better get close to a phone just in case.
Are you ready for another round of, or do you want
yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
You sure?
Yeah, I'm
All
ready.
right.
Yeah, another round of what?
Am I the a-hole?
Yes.
Yeah, but are you ready for another round of the bit?
That
we do?
too.
All right. There you go. All right. As long as we establish that.
We're all in sync, Steve.
Am I the a-hole because I took my mask off when I knew I was sick? My wife and I were traveling, and I happened to catch COVID. We had no option but to travel home with me being sick. I wore a mask and distanced myself from people as much as possible. At the airport, I sat in an area where there was no people, but I could see this boomer staring at me, and I knew he was itching to say something about the mask. Eventually, he worked up the courage. He walked over to where I was and sat down next to me and started telling me all about how masks were ineffective and I shouldn't be scared of catching a cold at the airport. Immunities, blah, 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 all the regular BS that they say. I pulled the mask down, leaned in, looked him in the face, and said, I have COVID. I'm not trying to get everyone else sick. My wife says that I'm the a-hole for pulling the mask down and talking to him so close when I knew I was sick. I say, F him. So am I the a-hole for pulling the mask down at the airport?
If you've got COVID, keep your mask on. You know what I mean? Because nobody else has got time for that.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm siding with this guy. Because if you are sick and he's trying to do the best that he can to stay away from people, and whatever your ideology is on masks, is it really appropriate to give somebody the rundown because you feel that this is you don't need to do that.
No,
you don't need to do any of that.
I mean, it's always better to mind your own damn business. I mean, I'll lend you that. But on the other hand, I mean, why put yourself in a position to be confronted by anybody, especially when you're sick?
Somebody said, you're not the a-hole. The person who cuts my hair has worn one since COVID. She said, before COVID, was always sick with a cold or cough, always something. Now, since wearing a mask while working, never gets sick. Wishes he would have done that a long time ago, doing it their whole hair-cutting career. Well, plus the smell of Barbasol. I mean, that's...
I kind of like that smell.
Do you?
Yeah, I kind of do.
The blue Kool-Aid that they put the combs in?
Blue or the green, whatever. I mean, I kind of like that.
You ever see somebody drink that stuff?
No, and I would and if I saw somebody like an airport drinking that stuff, I'd go right up to him and I'd give him a piece of my mind.
You do that?
No, I wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're drinking around the combs, yeah, I'd say, hey, that's probably not. It's probably not healthy.
People need to mind their own business.
People can't.
Why?
Because they feel as if they're entitled to save everybody in the world.
Like, have you ever done that? Like confronted somebody because of a social norm or not social norm?
I have a long-standing history of minding my own business.
That's the way it should be. That's
what I do. And not everyone's going to agree with that. But if I see you doing something stupid, I'm judging you, but I'm judging you in my own head.
Yeah, and you and your wife are going to laugh about it later on.
Of course.
But that's the way it should be done, in private.
That's right.
Number 2, am I the a-hole for walking away from a house I have no equity or say in and stiffing my soon-to-be ex? Before we got married, my in-laws sat me down and explained that I was never going to be on any paperwork for the house they helped my fiance purchase as a wedding gift. They insisted on an ironclad prenup. I got a lawyer and made sure I was protected as well. After we got married, I contributed to the expenses of the household 50-50, mortgage and everything. It was a little more than I paid in rent and utilities, but I figured we were building a future together. I make a decent living as a welder, and I don't own a lot of stuff. I have a truck, a welding lid, a laptop, and some clothes. Before I met my wife, I lived at Airbnbs and all-inclusive resorts. The welding business must be really booming right
Guess
now.
he's doing okay.
I work 4 weeks on and 2 weeks off. It didn't make sense to rent a house that could sit empty for a month at a time. I have helped my wife upgrade, renovate, and furnish the home. I'll give a simple example. We bought a very nice sectional. I paid for half up front by giving my wife to my money to my wife. She then bought it on her credit card to get the points. After that, it wasn't my problem anymore. I recently found out she's been seeing her ex when I'm out of town.
Ah, boy.
Ooh. I do not play that game. What was that song? Homie, don't play that game.
Oh, now you got me.
I will never compete for a woman, and I do not forgive cheating. So the last time I came home from work, I stayed at an Airbnb. I took the time to see a lawyer to initiate divorce. When my time off was done, I went back to work. My next break is after the new year, and I'll be going to an all-inclusive. Neither this last time or from now on did I or will I be giving her any money. The problem is that she didn't use the money I gave her to pay the mortgage or the credit card bills. She blew it on other stuff, so now she's in a bind. My money made her lifestyle possible. By just leaving and not engaging, she's kind of screwed. But there is nothing there for me anymore. We don't even have a dog like I wanted because she would have to care for him while I was away. So all I left behind was a suit I only bought for our wedding, some gym clothes, and my dress shoes once again for the wedding. Since her and her family and her friends are all over me to help during our divorce. I have no obligation to do so, though. After our divorce, even less so. I can literally live out of my suitcase and my backpack. My only living expense beyond housing is long-term parking for my truck. Even my mom seems to think I'm screwing her over and punishing her too harshly. I personally can't believe my mom would take her side, but my parents' divorce was really antagonistic, and their inability to communicate led to both of them being much worse off than they cooperated, and things ended amicably. So am I the a-hole?
Well, I mean, legally, he's within his right to only pay what he's obligated to pay.
Yeah, and if he's not on any of the bills or any of the things, then...
Right. But any guy that's writing a note like this and making everybody know that they stay in Airbnbs and luxury suites and stuff like that is kind of an a-hole. So yes and yes.
So people are saying not the a-hole. Let the ex chip in. As you noted, her family was very specific about protecting her financially in the prenup. Just refer everyone back to that. If the family was like, hey, you're not getting on this house ever, you're not going to be on the bills, and if all the things are in her name and he's been funding her money and there's no contractual obligation for that.
How she spends her money is going to be on her and not him. If she winds up spending the money irresponsibly when there are things that she needs to take care of, that's not his fault. That's her fault.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
This is the problem when you get a wad full of cash in your hand, you kind of just start spending it because it's there in your pocket, and then you realize maybe I should have saved this.
That's why I go wad free most of the time.
Are you? I thought you were a pretty big wad guy. Are you a wad guy?
I don't carry around a big wad.
I'm a huge wad guy.
Really?
Not
is that
cash.
a fact?
Not cash. Just a wad guy.
Okay.
And I'll leave that up to you to decide what that even means.
I'm not even sure that I want to look it up.
It could be chewing gum or it could be something else and everything in between. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's another round of Am I the A-hole?
It's 7:19 with Bax and Nagle at Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:26, and Jimi Hendrix at Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be cloudy for the most part today with a high of 45. It's 27 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hey, Rock 102 is bringing you New England Patriot football all season long. Sunday, January 18th, the Patriots host the divisional round against the Houston Texans. Tune into the State Line Propane and Oil pregame show. And then Bob Sochi and Scott Zolak bring you all the play-by-play action. The Patriots play here on Rock 102. You showed me a video this morning of Zolak in the broadcast booth having what looked like very close to having a stroke.
He looked like Pat Kelly trying to open up a gift that Nagle gave him at a holiday Christmas party. He did. He was turning red. He's like, oh, yeah.
He was out of his seat. He was jumping up and down.
He's giving high fives. Well, it's an exciting time for the New England
Absolutely.
Patriots,
And the fact they won and they kind of blew, the biggest blowout of the weekend, but we'll be talking to Scott Zolak on Thursday. Should be a lot of fun.
I actually, because our boss went to the game the other day, and I'm actually curious to know how the seats in Attleboro were watching that game. Did you have to bring like binoculars with you to watch that?
I took advantage of our station tickets once for a pregame, and like a preseason game.
You mean they took advantage of you giving you those tickets?
Wow, I got to tell you, they are as far back as back could be. The nice part about it is you have that nice concrete wall at your back, so you can actually rest a little bit. I mean, you're right. You're practically in Attleboro, North Attleboro, maybe Taunton. You're that close.
It's a nice breeze up there.
Man, you do need some sort of visual help. Like some equipment, something, anything. A telescope would be good.
I was hoping he'd send like a selfie or make a video of his experience there. And then, because I was picturing like Steve Martin and John Candy in the back of that pickup truck in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, where their faces are frozen and the icicles are coming down their facial. John Candy's facial hair.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be that, but I didn't see anything.
We had those seats, and a friend of mine who I've known since we were in grammar school. Yeah. She and her family have season tickets, so she said, "Well, why don't you guys come on down?" And so we literally went from like the back row.
Yeah.
To we were probably 25 rows back from the field.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, and it was preseason, so not everybody was going to go. So we took advantage and sat right next to my friend Joanne, and that was fantastic. It was like, man, I got to hang with you and your family more often.
Well, I showed you the new iPhone I got with the zoom on that.
Yeah.
You could watch the whole game on a 40x zoom.
You could, theoretically.
And from that distance away, you might be able to see one of the players.
Or the ball.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
It's 7:29. We got news next on Rock 102. 7:31 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Naples Home Buyers. They buy homes as is and offer solutions to any problems. Naples Home Buyers. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. Bay State Health has announced that it's, we were just talking about this during Am I the A-Hole? Bay State Health has announced that it is implementing enhanced infection prevention measures across all clinical settings following high levels of respiratory virus activity in the region. As a result of these measures, all healthcare workers will now be required to wear medical masks in patient care areas with Bay State facilities. Visitors ages 5 and older will be required to wear the medical masks in patient rooms, patient care areas, and common visitor spaces, including waiting rooms. Patients ages 5 and older are also encouraged to wear a mask in these settings, and masking is strongly advised in non-patient care areas for team members, visitors, and patients. Now, where's the boomer guy going up to the doctor going, these things don't work?
I'm sure he's out there. I'm sure he's giving the doctors what they're for, but these doctors are probably too busy getting hotel reservations with their name.
If they don't work, then why have medical people used them in operating rooms for years?
I always assumed so that they don't drool into a body cavity.
That's what I thought. Well, yeah, but it's
not so much what's going in, but maybe what's coming out.
Yeah, but maybe you had tuna on toast for lunch.
Yeah.
And now you're doing like a big giant operation. You don't want any of the pieces that you're telling a boring story to the rest of your coworkers during this surgery. You got this guy wide open on the table.
Yeah, meanwhile he's blasting up like caraway seeds from the rye bread he just had.
Right.
You don't want that in your bbody.
Hey, say it, don't spray it, doc. You just got a caraway seed in this guy's liver.
Yeah, right. Or you're resecting like an intestine or a bowel or something like that. All of a sudden, he's got like a whole bunch of seeds in there. Now what's he going to do? And it's your fault for not wearing a mask.
I don't know.
Seems to me, got to put on the mask.
Bay State Health states these measures are consistent with guidance from the Mass Department of Public Health. The most recent data from the DPH categorizes influenza-like illness infection rates in Massachusetts as very high, with the severity of infection categorized as high. one of the greatest medical professionals of our time, Dr. Oz.
Yes.
And did you talk about this at all with the alcohol recommendations?
We did. Yes.
And don't drink this for breakfast. You know, I got to hand it to these medical professionals that solid advice, very solid advice. Don't drink alcohol for breakfast. You know, I'm really finally glad that we have somebody in charge of that department who knows what they're talking about.
Well, Steve, I know that you come from a long, long history of genetically passed on alcoholism. And I know that there's probably somebody in your family history that did exactly that. You open up a brand new box of Cocoa Puffs. Next thing you know, you're pouring like Jack Daniels on it to start off your day because it's the start of a good breakfast.
You know,
juice, toast, milk, and tricks.
I said that years ago when they started when those flavored vodkas started becoming the pinnacle vodkas.
Yep.
They came out with the Fruit Loop. I'm like, Fruit Loop vodka? And now you're selling it all as what about the days back in the day when we had to pour a bowl of Fruit Loops and pour Popov over the top of it? These kids don't know how easy they have it these days. It's all ready for you in a bottle.
I hear you. But, you know, sometimes, like if you had like a Lucky Charms, bottle of vodka, you start the day off of that, it's magically delicious.
But, to get that kind of advice from a professional medical doctor like Dr. Oz, I hope people listen. I hope people say that don't have alcohol for breakfast because it's dangerous for you.
I think when people realize who it's coming from and they say, Oprah really started his career. So if Oprah trusts him, then we should all trust him.
Wasn't it the same guy who said we had arsenic in our apple juice, like high levels of it, and the apple juice is going to kill you? Mm-hmm. And then he had to retract his statement because it turns out that there's pretty much arsenic in all apple juice.
Yes, but you'd have to drink gallons and gallons and gallons of apple juice to be affected by that level of arsenic.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just glad somebody with some brains is in charge of this operation.
He also talked about how alcohol, and I didn't know this at all, that alcohol has a tendency to make people more sociable.
Really?
This is the first time hearing of this.
Where have these people been the entire time?
I don't know. Apparently not drinking enough alcohol.
No, but I mean, like, the rules of reason. Finally, somebody comes out and says it. Don't drink this for breakfast, and this makes people more sociable. Didn't know that.
On the other hand, though, Steve, there are places in America that serve alcoholic beverages for breakfast. Mimosas, Bloody Marys, shots, what have you.
Yeah.
I mean, many people see the Bloody Mary as like a breakfast drink, not so much unlike a hot cup of coffee or a Boost.
I had a virgin Bloody Mary the other morning for breakfast. We were going to – I'll tell you more about this. We were going on a buffalo wing tour.
Right.
So I didn't want to eat like a meal because I knew I was going to be eating buffalo wings for the rest of the day.
Sure.
So I was like, but I also don't want like – heavy like a bagel or something like that.
Right.
So I went down to the hotel bar area and I just asked for a virgin Bloody Mary. They're actually really good. The tomato juice and the horseradish and the olives.
Oh yeah,
is kind of like a little breakfast.
It's a drink and a snack at the same time.
Yeah.
What they hit you for that one?
$9 for a small glass of basically Bloody Mary mix with some horseradish. And
$9?
Well, it's the olives. They must be from wherever olives come from.
Had they put a little bit of booze in there, they probably would have jacked you for like $15, $16.
Probably. I would imagine. Everything. They got you by the short and curlies.
Oh, of course they do.
My dad used. They got you by the short and curlies. They know you're not going anywhere else. What do you do? Walk down the street?
I did that once at an airport bar.
Yeah.
Like I had a long layover, and I thought, I'll have like they had a special on Bloody Marys. I thought, well, that sounds pretty good. And and it was like, real elaborate. It had like, like shrimps in it and bacon and the celeries and all that stuff. It was like $20. This is like, like 20 years ago. I'm like,
yeah, but
Really?
But that sounds like you got breakfast with that, too. Like, if it's all dressed up with, like, this was just olives and horseradish. This wasn't.
Yeah, this one kind of was a bit of a snack.
I told you, my late wife used to bring her own decorations so we could make them on the plane. Well, first of all, we would illegally sneak nips onto the plane.
Sure.
She'd order the Bloody Mary mix.
Right.
And then she'd pour the nip in and then make the Bloody Mary, but then she'd also have a Tupperware container full of shrimp and celery and olives and make little mini Bloody Marys on the airplane. And people were just like, wow, that's a great idea.
I know. Did you have like the little umbrellas and everything?
Not the umbrellas, but they come with the little cocktail straws that they give you on the airplane. It was genius.
Fantastic.
It was a genius idea.
Really was.
The only thing is you can't get caught with the nips. They will kick you off the plane. They will emergency land that plane. This is from what I was told. You can't do that.
I don't know if they'll emergency land the plane, but
they will have law enforcement waiting for you.
You will be given a stern rebuke for not buying their nip bottles.
I'm pretty sure they kick you off the plane. I think that's one of those federal laws that you're not supposed to do that.
What if you're mid-flight?
Well, it's none of their business.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
You're on international waters. Who's in charge here?
Yeah, what jurisdiction? You're under federal jurisdiction, I guess, when you're over the United States. But
I
what
guess.
happens when you go over the ocean?
That's my question.
Yeah. Thomas Kiley's daughter-in-law would have never have signed a petition to repeal adult-use recreational marijuana, the attorney told the Ballot Law Commission on Monday. But as he went through signatures in support of the question, he saw her name on the list. I was 100% certain when I looked at the name that my daughter-in-law did not knowingly sign that petition, Kiley said. And I confirmed that afterwards by phone. And that is why, in the objection outside of the basis of my gathering, includes examination of contact with individuals. Secretary of State Galvin's office in December certified 78,301 signatures for an initiative petition that would repeal adult-use marijuana in Massachusetts. Kiley filed a challenge to the question on January 2nd, centered around concerns about how signatures in support of the proposed ballot initiative were collective. She told me I would never sign such a petition, Kiley said at a pre-hearing conference about the objection before the state's panel of ballot law officials. I asked the circumstances and was told that she signed the petition, having been told by the signature gatherer that it was one for affordable housing in her community. The respondent's attorney, Patrick Strawbridge, contested on Monday that there hasn't been sufficient evidence presented to dispose of enough signatures to knock the petition out of the running for the November ballot. The fundamental problem we have here is that, at least so far, been presented presented in the objection very scant evidence to suggest that a hearing in this matter is going to allow this commission to make a decision with respect to anywhere close to the number of signatures that it would have to find were invalid to actually go for the relief that's requested. The objector would have to disqualify 3,727 signatures for the question to not move forward. A feat Galvin said last week has to be based on evidence, not assertions. But there was a lot of people.
This was not the only person that said that they were deceived in this process.
There were like thousands of people that said they were deceived in this process and would have never have signed something that was. So I think there was misinformation on pamphlets that were given out to people saying, hey, you don't want to see you want people to have affordable housing, don't you? And then they go, oh, of course I do. And then they read the pamphlet and they sign it. And then what they're not telling you is, oh, by the way, there's also no marijuana in the Bay State anymore.
You know, if the requirement is to get a certain number of signatures to put something on the ballot, the requirement should be you have to be honest with what somebody is signing. Because how many times you see like someone outside a grocery store with one of these at a table with a clipboard having you sign a petition. I mean, who's sitting there reading the whole thing? Most of the times you don't. It's deceptive. Which makes you think this probably happens a hell of a lot more than anyone's willing to admit.
Well,
I don't think this is like an isolated case. I think this probably happens more than we think.
Look at the way these questions are written, too. Like
a yes is a no and a no is a yes.
It was the same with that patient ratio one about 7 years ago.
About the nurses, yeah.
Yeah, and somebody in the medical field designed that question so it would fail on its own. Like, they didn't want that to pass. And when you have enough lobbyists and enough people and enough money behind your campaign to say, oh, no, this is really, really bad for us.
Again, you don't know who to believe anymore.
Right.
And, if you hear like this propaganda campaign saying, a yes vote will have all these wonderful things about it, but then you don't get a sense of what the unintended consequences of those things are. You don't get a real sense of whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, because oftentimes they're not great things.
I haven't been this upset since they banned animal trapping.
I'm with you on that one. I used to trap animals all the time.
20-something years ago.
Yeah, I know.
You can't have those traps in your backyard anymore. How am I supposed to recreate my Bugs Bunny cartoons? You get caught in a trap, and you're jumping around, you're dancing up, and then you fall into a campfire, and, maybe into a pile of oil and in a feather factory.
You spent all that time learning the lyrics to Kill the Wabbit?
Yes, yeah, kill that wabbit.
Wabbit, kill the wabbit.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today going to be cloudy. Actually, the sun is out now, but I think it will be eventually cloudy with a high of 45. Tomorrow, rain showers with a high of 46. It's 28 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Yeah.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 7:52 and Quiet Riot with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be cloudy with a high of 45. Tomorrow, rain showers with a high of 46. It's 28 right now in downtown Springfield.
Let's see. I mentioned Bourbon Barbecue and Blues, right? We're nearly sold out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 10 tickets remain. If you've never been before, it is a really, really nice event at the Log Cabin. It's happening on Saturday, January 31st. From 6 to 9. A night of great food, great drinks, and really great music from Neo and the Vipers. What?
6 to 9.
Yes. Anyway, your admission includes the band. It also includes the multi-course meal, which is always delicious, and then the Pendleton whiskey tasting, in which each glass of whiskey is carefully matched to whatever they're serving that night. So if you're a bourbon, if you like washing down barbecue with bourbon, this is your night. Again, tickets are on sale at rock102.com. Bourbon Barbecue and Blues, January 31st from 6 to 9 p.m. Brought to you by Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements and Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
And like I said, even if you don't drink, the meal and the music are worth the price of the admission alone.
You can always give your samples to somebody else at your table.
I'm sure Pat Kelly would take them for you.
Sure he would.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why not?
He'd be happy to take them from you.
Glub, 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 glub.
He's done it before.
I've done it before.
I've done it before.
Not at that event, because we were never invited to that event until as of recent. We were there to show up and then leave.
There was no table set for the staff working the event.
Yeah, because why would you want to reward us with any of that?
Well, it's like the same kind of notion like when there was the Bax and O'Brien golf tournament, and the only two people that weren't allowed to play in the golf tournament
were Bax and
O'Brien. And we just why are we not golfing in this?
Well, because you'd be better served driving around in golf carts, bothering people while they're playing golf. Because that's exactly what a golfer wants, is to be annoyed while he's trying to make his shot.
Serious golfers who have spent $150, $200 to be a part of a golf scramble love the distraction of people talking to them while they're in their backswing.
Well, you know what? The times they are changing.
They certainly are.
We are now invited to that.
Anyhow,
one of the hotel that I was staying in over the weekend, I was mentioning this to you before, there was an entire hockey team, a traveling hockey team. These folks were from Ohio and Illinois, and they were all staying at the Hyatt, probably 50 of them. And it's like a first of all, I'm getting a glimpse into my traveling softball duties that I'm going to be having coming up in the summer.
Right.
But these people they're on this traveling hockey team. They're kids and they're teenagers, and they're teenage boys. They're yelling, they're screaming, they're hooting and hollering and all that stuff. And luckily, I didn't have to deal with the noise in the hotel. other than the lobby that I was in. And what?
Go on.
No, what were you gonna say?
No, there's a story of like a youth hockey team that got involved. They were in an AHL game.
Yeah.
And I believe this is between the Hershey Bears and Cleveland Monsters.
Uh-huh.
And the whole story is about how the AHL guys all behave themselves, but in between, like right before the game, there's one of these little mini mite games where like all the kids are playing right before the game, and there's this huge hockey fight amongst all these little kids. Like they're just beating the living bejesus out of each other.
Yeah.
It's absolutely hilarious. These are the hockey players that wind up going to that hotel in Buffalo.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is where it stems from.
Yeah. So I'm walking up. This is probably like this is after the Saturday shows, and it's like 1:00 in the morning. We're back at the hotel, and there's this lady outside in shorts. It's freezing cold outside.
Isn't it January?
Yeah,
in Buffalo.
It's freezing. It's freezing cold with the winds blowing and all that stuff. And so this lady's outside smoking a cigarette in shorts and Crocs. And, and she's standing there, and I'm like, aren't you a little cold? She's like, I ain't cold. I've been used to this for a long, long time. And I'm like, are you part of the hockey group? That's right. We've been staying here. And let me tell you something. We got complaints about our kids being noisy. Who the hell books regular customers on a floor full of hockey players? And I'm like, okay. She's like, and this woman come out of her hotel room and she told my son to shut the F up. Right. And I'm just listening. I'm not going back at her. I just want to hear this story. And this woman, she wants to talk to somebody. So she's talking and she's going on about they're kids. They're gonna be loud. And I'm like, yeah, but not at midnight in a hotel. Like, get your kids under control, lady. Like, you gotta, I understand the excitement of it, these kids being around. Anyway, she then goes on to tell me, and then tonight was hell here at the Hyatt. And I said, what happened? And she's like, there was a Diddy party going on the 10th floor. And I go, what? And she's like, there was all these scantily clad 13-year-olds, and my boy came to me and he's like, Mom, we saw the girls at the Diddy party upstairs on the 10th floor. And I said, so what did you do? And she's like, we came down to the front desk and we marched. I'm like, do you see the Diddy party girls coming out of the elevator here in their fishnet stockings? All good. And she's smoking a cigarette, like telling the whole story. and then she's like, there was cop cars here. They busted that Diddy party right up. And I'm thinking, man, and I had to go to a comedy club and miss all the action here at the Hyatt in downtown Buffalo.
What a waste of your time.
Yeah, but I love this lady. She was just wanted to tell that story. The Diddy party going on the 10th floor.
There was baby oil and there was drinks.
Yeah, and I can't believe how much they spent on that baby oil from that little kiosk they got down in the Hyatt. That must have been costing them a lot of money.
It's 7:59 at Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, Winter Storm headquarters before and after the storm.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, it's going to be the Houston Texans. Last night, the Texans spanked the bejesus out of the Pittsburgh Steelers 30-6 in a big blowout to win the final spot in the divisional round of the playoffs. Now, I can get into all the details of the game, including how the Houston defense clamped down around Aaron Rodgers and holding him to just 146 yards passing and sacking him 4 times, but I've chosen to ignore all that because, frankly, it's yesterday's news. Instead, I'd rather focus my full attention on the fact that the Houston Texans will be coming up to Foxborough to face the New England Patriots on Sunday at 3 on ESPN. What the Steelers do with themselves now at this point is their business. Frankly, none of my concern. Far more fixated on the fact the Patriots are currently listed as 3-point favorites, and that game begins at a reasonable time. Now, the last time these two teams faced each other in the divisional round was all the way back in 2016 when Drake May was just 13 years old. That was a long time ago. Thankfully, I'm not a superstitious fella. What happened nearly 10 years ago, largely irrelevant today. And while the Texans may have the top-ranked defense in football, the Patriots defense is no slouch either, ranked at number 8. On the other hand, the Patriots had the third highest ranked offense in the league last year, whereas Houston wasn't even close, ranked at number 18. But of course, this is the divisional round of the playoffs, and all bets are off. The winner of which goes on to the conference championship game on January 25th. How's this going to work out? Well, I have my thoughts, and while I've chosen to refrain from making wild predictions, let me just say that my thoughts do not include Houston playing for a conference championship. What does that mean exactly? Well, you seem like smart people. I'll let you figure it out. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Some birds head south for the winter, while stubborn old birds like you and me, we tough it out. Go to Rocky's for KT Songbird Blend, Birders Blend, or Fruit and Nut Blend. Buy one, get one free. Feed them birds. Go to Rocky's for the good stuff. KT Bird Food Blends at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
102 Springfield's Classic Rock, 812. And AC/DC with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be, cloudy today with a high of 45. It's 28 right now in downtown Springfield. I talking all the morning long about my little trip up to Buffalo,
Shoving up to Buffalo.
And Friday, after the first show on Thursday, and then Friday morning, I decided, you know what, I got time to kill. I'm going to go to Niagara Falls. Like 25 minutes away from where I was. I'm like, I might as well go and check it out. I did not go to the Canadian side.
Well, that would have required a passport.
Well, I do have a passport, and I have all the documentation. However, I've been hearing all these like horror stories of people getting held up coming back when you come over to the border, over the border. So I'm like, I got to be at the show. It's by 6 o'clock. I'm not going to risk that. Being held up for
you don't want to. No comedy show is worth an international incident.
No, not at all. I did go to Niagara Falls, which you couldn't really go all the way down to where the water was because it was all iced over. Because, and it says if you even try to go over this, you will be arrested. And there was plenty of park rangers there
to go over to like where the falls is? You couldn't go like to the edge and take a look?
You could go up to the edge that was the highest edge, but you couldn't go down to like, there's like a walkway down that goes next to the river that you could stand right next to the waterfall, and that wasn't gonna happen. But first of all, it's actually very impressive. I've seen it before, as a kid. But you don't really remember like a lot of the stuff. Mm-hmm. It's very impressive, and you find out like how it starts at Lake Superior, and basically all that water just goes from Great Lake to Great Lake, and then eventually into the St. Lawrence River that goes out into the ocean.
Sure,
it's pretty neat little history. It is a giant tourist trap.
Oh, on both sides of the river.
The good thing is there's nobody there in the winter. There was maybe like a dozen people walking around out in this Goat Island Park.
I can't even imagine the idea of even thinking about the Maid of the Mist in January.
Well, they don't run the boat now.
Well, I know, but even listen, it's freezing cold in July and August.
Well, I guess I didn't experience this when I was 12, or maybe it was, and I just don't remember. But we went in the summertime. But the winds off those Great Lakes. When Gordon Lightfoot sings about the gales in November, and
he wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong at all. And I guess the power goes out a lot up there, which is kind of ironic since Niagara Falls is used as a hydroelectric power source. So I did go up there for a couple hours and hung around, made a video, and then came back to the show. Saturday. So TJ Miller hires, this is the cool thing about him. This is how he gets content. He hires local cameramen, like professional camera people.
Okay.
And they tape all of his shows, and then he also asks them, hey, we need you to come follow us around because we're going to be doing some wing tasting tomorrow. And these two guys being from Buffalo, he likes to hire local people because they know where all these places are. They know which ones to go to,
Which one's not to go to?
which ones not to go to, and so we decided to do this wing tour. So we had these tri-cornered hats that TJ had from some failed promotion that he tried to do. So we all put them on, and he had donned us the Buffalo Benny Franks.
Okay.
And we were going to let freedom wing as we
that's-
tried all the different wings.
This is why he's headlining.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, it's when you put it together in a professional sense like that, and you have, we're just riffing back and forth about the wings in different places, and we go to these. We were given 3 places to go to.
Okay.
One of them was Gabriel's Gate.
Okay.
Because the Anchor Bar in Buffalo was the original place where these wings were supposedly invented. The sauce for the little mini chicken wings were invented. Nobody in Buffalo likes the Anchor Bar.
What's wrong with it?
I think because it's become too commercialized. It is now a small chain of restaurants. So it's not just the one location. It's multiple locations throughout that area that people don't seem to really like. It's more of a touristy thing than it is anything else.
It's not where the locals would go.
No, and the locals are telling you, no, you got to go to this Gabriel's Gate. You got to go to there was a Beltline brewery.
Okay.
And the wing thing is, it's to them in Buffalo, it's like there's so many places that have wings that they have to subcategorize them when you get to these restaurants. So the brewery place was like, yeah, we're the best wings for a brewery. So it's all subcategorized.
Right.
And I'm like, what about the best wings at like a Best Western? Do we have that category going on? But that's the kind of thing. And we went and tried all these different kind of wings. Now, we ordered buffalo at every one we went to, but we also ordered a secondary set.
So like it was like a barbecue or like a teriyaki or something. You check that out too?
Yeah. And honestly, the buffalo wings themselves, it's Frank's Red Hot and Butter. I mean, there's really not much to it.
The thing is,
being
if
a signature sauce.
if you're doing it right,
yeah.
it should taste the same as every other buffalo wing you've ever had.
And we have this discussion on the video about
Right.
how this whole thing works. The cool thing about all of this was being part of an entourage.
You like that?
I thought that was cool. Like, we're hanging with this. He's a movie star, for God's sakes. We're hanging, and people, like, when you walk into a place, you're part of this crew, and people you can see people whispering, like, that's the guy from Deadpool, and, that's whatever. And then some people are brazen enough to go, hey, I loved you in a Christmas office party, holiday office party, that kind of thing. But we finally wind up at this place in East Aurora, New York, because everybody says, you got to go to Bar Bill's. It's the Buffalo Bills, sports bar, but they have supposedly the best wings.
Okay.
So we go to this place, and the line is out the door, and it's pouring rain outside. So it's going to be like 25 to 30 minutes for a wait for a table. But we want to get done with this.
Sure.
So he does this, well, let me try celebrity, my celebrity prowess. And he goes up and he quickly realizes that this hostess doesn't care. She knows who he is.
Right.
She just doesn't care. Like, we're not doing that.
Right. Like,
So-
you're not so special to
Yeah.
us.
So we have to wait. So whatever, we wait. So then we try going into this bar next door, right next to this Bar Bill's place, the bar is fairly full on the bar side, but then all the tables are empty. So then he says to the hostess, do you mind if we'll buy a couple of drinks if we can just sit at this high top until, the thing. No, you have to order an entree if you're going to sit at one of these tables.
What the hell's going on in East Aurora?
Now, the restaurant is empty.
Yeah.
And it's like this high-end food place, kind of
So this
thing.
isn't like an afterthought to the bar bill.
No. This is a completely different menu. It has nothing to do with wings. This is like
Gotcha.
a artisan type one of these restaurants. And he's like, "Are you serious? Like, you're not gonna like?" Because him and Plum were having a couple of beers. I'm like, and the camera guy was having a beer, so they would have at least made $25 for the 25 minutes we would have to wait in there.
Sure.
They kicked us out. They told us,
bastards.
yeah. So then we wound up going to this other place across the street, this Hannah in Maine. And by the way, this town of East Aurora, it's used in Hallmark Christmas movies all the time.
Yeah.
Like they film, so it's kind of like a bougie little place. But Hannah in Maine, we tried the wings over there. They were better than all the other places that weren't on the famous list.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So, but we sit down in this Bar Bill's place, and we finally get the table, and we're doing this thing, and the waiter comes over, and he's all excited to be on camera, and he's ready to, rock and roll, and he's giving us the rundown. And then we get the wings, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good thing. They had a garlic parm one that was actually really good, but even the buffalo one was needed a little bit more hot sauce, but
sure.
But it was pretty good. And then TJ says, he's like, what about this place next door? And the guy goes, yeah, we own that too. And then TJ just goes, you were the front runners, and now you're not because we hate that place. And he goes on a rant about how they kicked him out and all this other stuff. But it was pretty good, and we tried. We ate. I can't eat another buffalo wing for a long time. We ate 30 wings. Well, we probably ate about 20 to 30 wings each.
That's a lot of wings.
Throughout the day, starting at 11 a.m. and then ending by 5:30, because you're going to all these places, and you fill up at the first place because you're hungry.
Right.
But then by the time you get to the second and third place, you're like, how many more buffalo wings can we possibly eat?
But they're probably no better than you would find here.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, you can. I actually, and I'm thinking. There's a place by my house, the Russell Inn.
Yeah,
they got really good wings there. Like but they're called wingdings, and they got like a fried thing around them.
Oh yeah,
kind of thing. But I kind of like that. I kind of like when the sauce soaks into the thing. But it's like this whole thing is just a gimmick. It's just a gimmick. It's like a local gimmick.
Yeah, some guy at the Anchor Bar stumbled onto this idea, and all of a sudden everybody in town's got a piece of it.
Back in the 70s, somebody came up with this recipe and decided to put them out, and everybody hates the Anchor Bar.
I'm telling you, apart from the football team, there's very little reason to go.
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying it's a terrible place. I'm just saying, it's.
But I got to tell you, the city of Buffalo is actually a very nice city. It's clean. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel at any point like maybe I shouldn't be in this area. Like anywhere we went was actually a pretty decent area, and the people are actually pretty nice out there. There's a lot of I don't know why you'd want to live in a place that has the power go out more often than it's on.
I guess like an average snowfall of like 12 feet. I don't know why you'd want to do that either. But
we experienced every season. When I got there on Thursday, it was 64 degrees, and there was no snow on the ground. But
right.
By Saturday, there was wind, rain, and all that stuff on Saturday, and then by Sunday, there was 3 inches of snow
like
on the
lake
ground.
effect snow.
Yeah. Good times though.
It's 8:25 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Rockfield.
Steve, it is a Shop Tuesday here at Rock 102. This morning at 9 o'clock, if you go to rock102.com, you can save 30% off to Fishtails Bar and Grill in Hatfield. You'll find what you're craving for at Fishtails: stuffed haddocks, scallops, pan-seared herb butter, salmon, and swordfish tips. Daily specials, noon to 4 on Fridays and Saturdays. That all begins at 9 o'clock in the Shop 30 store at rock102.com. Do not miss out. 30% off at Fishtails Bar and Grill in Hatfield.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I know.
Some fishtails right now.
Me too. Buffalo fishtails?
No, buffalo. Listen, here's the thing. Like, when you eat that many wings, by, like, I don't know, 8 o'clock that night, I was just burping up wing sauce, and it was so gross because I like buffalo wings, but I don't really necessarily enjoy 20 to 30 of them at a time.
Yeah. You're also going with a group, too. Now, I realize, like, the buffalo wings were primarily what you guys wanted.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But you ever go out and, like, you're with a bunch of people, like a group of 4 people, and they say, hey, let's get some wings, and they order the wings, but it's like the sauce that you least want. It's like, like We'll have an order of wings, large, battery acid or motor oil wings. Can we get those, please?
Yeah.
I don't that one I wouldn't have ordered.
One of these ones that we had was Italian wings. And I'm thinking, what is it, like, is it like tomato sauce on it or something? No, it's Italian dressing, and it's disgusting. It's like,
so it's all floppy and stuff.
I'm not a big fan of Italian. I'll eat Italian dressing on a salad, but very little. But to have wings drenched in that, the best one those were the Cajun barbecue ones at the first place we were at, like because we had best buffalo and then best secondaries.
Yeah.
And the secondaries at the first place we went to was pretty good. But, like, again, everybody's got the gimmick. Everybody's got we got the best ones.
I know. And, I like a wing with, like, a dry rub. I don't need it all to be all saucy. Sometimes it's just like a dry rub. I like that. I've been to, like, wing places where someone says, let's get the mango habanero wings. I'm like, I don't want that.
But we were talking about how, because we went to that place just by chance because we were kicked out of the other restaurant,
right?
That I wonder how many places are actually better than the famous places, and they just don't get the clout because they're not on the Valley Advocate, whatever the equivalent of the Valley Advocate list is out in Buffalo.
You can't trust those kinds of lists because usually the ballots are stacked.
Stuffing.
By people that know the owner or whatever. Even Yelp ratings you can't completely trust.
Wait, are you telling me that Matt Peterson is not the most favorite DJ in Western Massachusetts?
He is not.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Just telling you what I know.
I'm just saying. By the way, vote for us in Valley Advocate this year.
News next to Rock 102.
You've been
8:33 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Big Y, your family market. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. Up in Northampton, there's some drama going on in the grocery store.
What aisle?
Yeah, that would be nice to know. See, those are the details that I would like to know, but they don't include those. A Northampton school committee member is speaking out after a public confrontation with the husband of Mayor Gina Louise Chiara. Michael Stein, a member of the Northampton school committee representing Ward 4, told 22 News that Chiara's husband, Bill Scher, approached him as he was grocery shopping. Scher reportedly confronted Stein to protect his wife's policies regarding Northampton's budget struggles. So I was shopping the frozen food aisle, and I was looking at my list, and I heard someone sort of loudly say, "Hey!" I looked up, and he was marching towards me, Stein told 22 News. Mm-hmm. Stein stated that Northampton schools have faced budget cuts for the last 2 years, reflecting on ongoing community concerns about education funding. And I think from his perspective, he thinks the criticism has not been fair. In response to the confrontation, Scher issued a public apology during last Thursday's Northampton School Committee meeting. He acknowledged his reaction, saying, "When he responded with points I didn't agree with, I let my emotions get the best of me. I lost my temper and raised my voice."
I mean, you're grocery shopping. That's not really a place for confrontation.
No, you should be arguing over how much the price of these G-damn Cheerios cost.
Right.
Speaking of which, I didn't know Cheerios were made in Buffalo. The whole city smells like Cheerios.
Is that true?
Yeah, General Mills.
General Mills?
It's that, there's at least, I'm sure there's more than one Cheerios factory, but there's a General Mills factory that makes the Cheerios right there in Buffalo.
Regular or Honey Nut?
Regular.
Ooh, geez.
Regular smells like things. You can't take a tour of the General Mills facility.
You probably don't want to see it.
And it says, when you Google it, and it says, yeah, they stopped doing that in 1986 for safety reasons. And I'm like, what happened at the Cheerio plant?
There must have been somebody.
1986.
Probably somebody fell into a vat.
Somebody, maybe it was a kid who went in there and tried to pee on all the Cheerios. You know how you throw the Cheerios in the toilet to make the kid pee to make sure that he's getting his pee?
No, I don't know that one.
You never heard that before?
No.
When you're trying to teach little boys to pee when they're kids, you put Cheerios in the toilet. You put a couple of Cheerios floating in the toilet, and they aim for the Cheerios.
I had no idea that was a thing. I never
It's a
dreamed of that.
training tactic.
Yeah, with daughters, you don't have to
you don't
go
worry.
through that, and same with you. So
Yeah.
never had to resort to that. But
Yeah, but I
nevertheless,
had sisters who have sons, and that was part of the potty training process was to throw the Cheerios. I'm not talking like an entire bowl of Cheerios.
but just like a handful.
A couple of them, yeah.
Okay.
So you try to reach the target.
So there's no tour anymore. So it's like the General Mills Cheerio factory kind of become like the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. Like all of a sudden, General Mills comes out of his office one day and says,
Walks out with a cane and then does a tumble and a somersault.
Yeah, I'm handing out like a bunch of golden tickets, so you get a chance to see the magical cereal factory inside with all of our General Mills Oompa Loompas.
I remember. I'm waiting for that to happen. One day that will happen.
That would be magical.
You get the golden ticket to go to the General Mills factory in Buffalo. But it's weird because it does smell like Cheerios. Not all over the city, but in that General Mills area, that it does smell like Cheerios.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, you go to any other. Remember that guy up in, I think it was Shelburne? He was yelling at the coffee place
Because it was
It
overwhelming.
was either Greenfield or Shelburne. He was yelling things outside of the plant where they were roasting the coffee because the coffee, when coffee gets roasted, it can produce a pungent smell.
Think about this. You're in Buffalo. You're smelling Cheerios wafting through the air.
Yeah.
You come back into town. You're in Springfield, and you're on occasionally smelling the wafting from Bondi's Island. What seems like a better place to live?
Bondi's Island. Don't you think?
I mean, after a while, you no longer want to smell Cheerios.
Well, it's familiar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's the smell of home.
Maybe if you didn't live around here and you wouldn't say, I miss that smell of that pungent Bondi's Island at 5 o'clock in the morning on a hot day.
Nothing says welcome home like the waft of human excrement in a holding tank.
The effervescent smell of Bondi's Island. There's nothing like it.
Used to be worse. Used to be able to smell it every day.
When did it start? Is when they added the other?
I think they got a
station?
bunch of these Glade plug-ins. They plugged it all around the Bondi's Island holding tanks. Then it all of a sudden smelled like Macintosh or fresh linen.
Oh,
but back in the day, back in the 90s, it didn't smell anything like that.
So you're saying it smells like the Rock 102 studios? With
Actually,
the Overpower Glade air freshener, which by the way is not plugged in today.
No, so you can smell you can smell how it normally is. But nevertheless, I think given the choice, Bondi sometimes smells better.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I know
I got you.
I hear you.
The Greenfield Police Department is reminding local businesses and vendors to inspect bills after counterfeit money was found at AutoZone. This is not an AutoZone policy. This is an O'Reilly Auto Parts policy.
I'm not making those kinds of judgments.
Police stated that the counterfeit $10 and $20 bills were accepted on Monday at the AutoZone on Federal Street in Greenfield. The money was reportedly handed over folded in an attempt to hide the fact that it was not legal tender. The individual who passed the bills claimed that the money was being used for an undisclosed program at an undisclosed school. I don't even know what that means. Who asked him that?
And why couldn't he why couldn't he made a better story?
What's the money being for? A program? Where? A school? Where's the school? None of your business.
Honest to God.
Staff at local stores should be alerted of fraudulent bills in the area and reminded to closely inspect money before accepting it as payment. You know, if somebody does hand you a wad of cash for something, you really should check to make sure that the texture is that of the U.S. money, the mint money.
Yeah, right.
You know,
I mean, you could. Yes, we talked about this before. You can usually tell just by the texture of the paper that it's not right. It's phony money.
Yeah, but it's not always like that. There are higher grades of paper that some of these counterfeiters use.
I guess.
You can't really emulate that money paper, which is made in Dalton, Massachusetts, by the way.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, or it used to be. I don't know if it still is, but they make the paper for the money up there, and it's certain amount of fiber. Like you can't. It's not made anywhere else. And there's probably a secret to how that money is made, how that paper is made.
Yeah. But you had all the watermarks, all those those little things that are in the dollar bills that say it's fake or not.
But how many times have you gone into a store and if you hand somebody a 50 or 100, they take the marker out and they rub the marker on it to make sure it's real. They don't really do that for 20s and 10s, which is exactly what this guy did.
Right.
So maybe.
I don't know.
I was always wondering why people didn't counterfeit dollar bills. That would be a lot easier to get away with. I mean, obviously, most counterfeiters probably take the 50 and get change and then get, they buy a pack of gum and then you get $40-something worth of change back in real money.
Practically like buying free gum.
Right. So I guess it would be a lot more of a pain in the butt to use dollar bills.
Yeah, you wouldn't counterfeit something like that.
But 10s, 20s, it's not a bad. It's a lucrative business until it's not.
Of course, defending yourself in court is a whole lot more expensive. You need a hell of a lot more phony bills.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think you can pay bail in phony. Well, do you have any money on you? Yeah, I got $3,000, which is just enough for the bond that you put on. Is it real money?
Maybe.
No, maybe. Are you going to question me about this or not? Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be cloudy with a high of 45. Tomorrow, rainy with a high of 46. It's 28 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. All right.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:49, and Def Leppard with Bax and Nagle at Rock 102.
Eventually going to be coming cloudy today with a high of 45. It is 28 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hey, this week in Baxi's musical podcast, my guest has been Brian Baker, who's a legendary guitar player who's played in some very important, influential bands, Bad Religion, Minor Threat, probably like 50 or 60 others. He's got a brand new book out of photographs that he's taken on the road over like the last, 25, 30 years or so. It's really, really cool, really interesting interview, great guy, and you can hear that interview anytime you damn well feel like it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and on the Rock 102 app, all brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at Chicopee, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
Let's see. I don't know. We got some stuff to talk about before we do our little giveaway thing here, right?
Yeah, we do, because we're giving something away here in just a moment that is a very nice prize.
I got some. I stopped in Syracuse on the way home, and I got some of that sausage, the Gianelli sausage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. There's something about that. It's regular Italian sausage, but whatever spice they put into it makes it unique.
Yeah, Marty and I were talking about kielbasa the other day, and it's like, you have so many great places that make their own kielbasa in the area, and it's always better than like the all naturally or the nationally manufactured stuff like
a Hillshire
farm. It's like listen, if you got a chance between like a Blue Seal or a Chicopee Provision,
Burnett's
or whatever, it's like it's the difference between eating like a prime rib and a Slim Jim.
I'm telling you, they got that, and he, Mr. Burnett over at Burnett's pronounced the word. I'm not Polish. I don't remember what it was, but he had a name for it. It's a loaf. It's a kielbasa loaf. You slice it like deli meat, and it's got cheddar and jalapeno in it.
Oh, my God.
And I got a chance to get a pound of that over the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend it to get that. There's nothing like
it sounds
cheese
fantastic.
And peppers inside of cured meat. It was absolutely delicious. So
I think anytime you can conceal blobs of cheese inside anything, it's always a welcome surprise.
Yeah, it's true. I told you that venison kielbasa my brother gets made with the venison, and absolutely delicious. That was another thing. My brother, because I had stopped up there on Wednesday going to Buffalo, kind of break up the trip a little bit.
Yeah.
And he had made venison goulash.
Oh, I bet that was pretty good.
With venison sausage.
Oh, my God.
And it was so freaking good.
Yeah. You know, I love a good sausage. I'm a big sausage fan. Always have been.
You like a good sausage
I like
in your
a good
mouth?
sausage. I do. I love it. I love sausage.
Yeah.
And I feel that there are days I just don't have enough sausage in my system. And that's it. So you have like a bratwurst. I love a good bratwurst. I love a good good Italian.
Okay, so also up in central New York, when I was in Syracuse, they have these hot dogs. They're called Coney hot dogs.
Okay.
And they're white hot dogs.
Seen them. Yes.
I don't really care for them. There's something about the spice inside of it that doesn't. It's weird. It's
I agree. Sometimes just a regular hot dog is sufficient.
But they go nuts for them up there. That's like the big thing. Like when you go into all the grocery stores, they have them all over the place. They're Hoffman Coney hot dogs that they got. But it's like, ugh. It's funny how something becomes a staple of an area.
Well, it's like, I talk about the bratwurst. In Wisconsin when I was living there, no one was cooking hot dogs.
Right.
Nobody. It was like hamburgers and bratwurst, and that was it.
Yeah.
Hot dogs. What are you doing that for? I got like a 16 pounds of bratwurst in the freezer, which I've been boiling in beer and onions all day long, and then I'm going to grill.
So last night I sautéed some peppers and onions and garlic in like a light olive oil, and then made the sausage in the air fryer.
Oh yeah,
which only takes like 10 minutes. I don't know why, like in my whole early part of my life, that I thought sausages take hours to make or like 30 minutes or something like that.
They don't.
No, it takes about 10 minutes at 400 degrees, and then boom, you just make sure they're up to temperature and they're done, right? And so I did that, and it's so good. There's something about, and you don't even. And the funny thing is, like if you go to like New York and like New York City, New Jersey, sausage sandwiches down there don't really have sausage, peppers and onions with them unless you ask for them.
Right.
It comes mostly with marinara sauce, and it's weird how like different foods are different. Like so, but anywhere else in the country, sausage, peppers, and onions, there's no marinara sauce with it.
I know. I would prefer like just the sausage and onions. I mean, with the peppers. I don't need all the tomato sauce on it.
No. The tomato sauce seems to be a little much, although it's good with the bread. Like, if you have a good piece of bread, like a good hoagie roll, it tastes pretty good with the bread.
One of my all-time favorite things is if you go to like a Portuguese restaurant and they put the chorizo on that little ceramic boat and they set it on fire.
Chorizo.
Yeah.
Man, those Portuguese have a different word for everything, don't they?
Yes, it's freaking delicious.
Yeah, I'm sure it sounds delicious.
And they set it on. I don't know what. They don't know they're pouring like some sort of booze on top of it, and they light it on fire, and you let it sit there for just a little while, just a little, not too long, because you don't want it to dry out. But oh my God!
Now you just triggered my Portuguese food love. Tony and Penny's makes a good one, but I made it at home myself. It's shrimp, but it's got that orange sauce.
The Mozambique.
Is that what it's called?
I think that's the shrimp Mozambique.
And it's really easy to make.
Yeah, it's simple.
I made it at home. It's a little bit of like white wine. Is it Saison? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Saison. It's like they put it. The Goya sells them in the little packets and all that stuff. A couple of packets of those, a little white wine, and some butter.
Fantastic.
Good stuff. Now I'm really hungry. One
of my favorite things in the world is the Portuguese sausage. Right, you slice it up, cook it with onions and peppers, and then you pour like tomato sauce on top of it, and then you put it on like a Portuguese roll. One of my favorite all-time things ever.
Sounds delicious.
Fan-freaking fantastic.
I wish we had some food in front of us. But we don't.
Nothing. We got a big bag of Jack Squad. Is what we got.
That's right.
I'll tell you what. Now is the perfect time to start giving something away. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
The auto parts swap and sell is coming to the Eastern States Exposition in West Springfield, January 17th and 18th. My God, that is this weekend. And we happen to have a 4-pack of tickets to the 10th caller right now, 293-1021.
Oh, man. What a prize.
Can you feel the electricity?
I want to be swapping and selling all weekend long.
That's right. The auto parts swap and sell at the Big E this weekend. Good luck.
What does that mean? Can you bring like an old carburetor with you and then swap it for a new one? How does it?
You probably could. Or you could just go there with a carburetor and say, I want to sell it, but I don't need a new one. I got like 15,000 of them in the shop.
Huh.
Here's just a carburetor. See what I can get for it. You could sell it or you can swap it. It's a swap and sell.
What about used pine tree air fresheners? Can you recycle those at the swap and sell? Or is that the swap and smell?
That's the swap and smell.
Right.
That's right.
Got my things mixed up.
Good luck on Rock 102.
3 words that taste great.